Welcome to Peak Analytics.
Today, we're diving deep into the electrifying life of Michael Jeffrey Mick Ralphs, the legendary guitarist and co-founder of Mott the Hoople and Bad Company, whose searing riffs and soulful songwriting carved an indelible mark on rock history. Born in the rolling hills of Herefordshire, England, Mick's journey from a self-taught teen strumming Chuck Berry licks in local pubs to crafting anthems like Can't Get Enough, Feel Like Makin' Love, and All the Young Dudes is a saga of raw talent, perseverance, and unyielding passion for music. A recent inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Bad Company, Mick's legacy resonates through his minimalist yet melodic guitar work, inspiring generations of musicians and fans. We're unpacking his cause of death, wife, children, family, house, net worth, lifestyle, and biography with rich, expansive details to honor a true rock pioneer whose chords still echo in arenas and airwaves worldwide. Grab your air guitar, crank the volume, hit that like button, and let's celebrate a legend whose music will never fade. Share and subscribe to keep rocking with epic stories. Mick Ralphs passed away on June 23, 2025, at the age of 81, leaving a void in the rock world. No specific cause of death was publicly disclosed, but his health had been fragile for nearly a decade following a debilitating stroke in November 2016, just days after his final performance with Bad Company at London's O2 Arena on October 29, 2016. The stroke, described by bandmate Simon Kirke as a life-altering blow, left Mick bedridden and requiring full-time care in a nursing home in England until his passing. Posts on X, at RockFeedNet, and tributes from peers like Paul Rodgers, who said, "My heart just hit the ground," highlighted the toll of his prolonged health struggles. Kirk's statement to Rolling Stone noted Mick's resilience, recalling how he clung to hope for recovery despite severe limitations. The timing of his death, mere months before Bad Company's scheduled induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in November 2025, added a bittersweet layer to his legacy, with fans on X, at Classic Rock Vibe, mourning the loss of a riff machine who never got to bask in the honor. Mick's passing marked the end of a storied career, but his music remains a timeless testament to his genius. Mick Ralphs was married to Susie Chavasse, whom Paul Rodgers described as his one true love in a heartfelt tribute following Mick's death. Details about Susie are scarce, as Mick was fiercely private about his personal life, a rarity in the rock world where excess often spilled into headlines. Their marriage, believed to have spanned decades, was a cornerstone of Mick's life, with Susie providing unwavering support through his career highs and health challenges. Rodgers' condolences emphasized Susie's role as Mick's anchor, particularly during his post-stroke years, when she was a constant presence by his side. The couple's bond, rooted in mutual respect and shared values, remained out of the public eye, aligning with Mick's preference for letting his music speak louder than his personal story. Fans on X, at Apollo KSH, praised his devotion to Susie, noting how his low-key romance reflected the grounded spirit of his songwriting. While no details of their courtship or wedding have surfaced, their enduring partnership was evident in Mick's quiet contentment offstage, a contrast to the swagger he brought to performances. Susie's strength in navigating Mick's health struggles cemented her as a vital part of his legacy, earning admiration from bandmates and fans alike. Mick Ralphs is survived by 2 biological children and 3 stepchildren from his marriage to Susie Chavasse, though their names, ages, and personal details remain undisclosed, reflecting Mick's commitment to shielding his family from the spotlight. His role as a father was deeply meaningful, with bandmate Simon Kirke's tribute highlighting Mick's pride in his children and stepchildren, whom he cherished as his own. Paul Rodgers, in a 2019 interview with Classic Rock, noted the family's dedication during Mick's recovery, with his children and stepchildren actively involved in his care, visiting him regularly at the nursing home. This tight-knit dynamic, rooted in Mick's working-class Herefordshire upbringing, shaped his values of loyalty and humility, evident in his unassuming demeanor despite global fame. While little is known about his children's lives, whether they pursued music or other paths, Mick's influence as a father was profound, instilling a love for creativity and resilience. His stepchildren, part of Susie's family, were seamlessly integrated into his life, underscoring his generosity and warmth as a family man. The absence of public details about his children reflects Mick's deliberate choice to prioritize their privacy, a rare stance in an era of rock star exposure, making his family a sacred sanctuary amid his storied career. Mick Ralphs was born on March 31, 1944, in Stoke Lacey, Herefordshire, England, into a modest, working-class family that laid the foundation for his grounded character. Raised in the rural beauty of Herefordshire, Mick developed a passion for music as a teenager, teaching himself guitar at 17, inspired by rock and roll trailblazers like Chuck Berry, Eddie Cochran, and Steve Cropper's soulful Green Onions. Details about his parents or siblings are sparse, as Mick rarely spoke of his early family life, but his upbringing in a tight-knit community fostered a work ethic and authenticity that permeated his music. His father, likely a laborer or tradesman, and his mother, possibly a homemaker, instilled values of perseverance, evident in Mick's relentless pursuit of musical excellence despite early rejections. His musical family extended to bandmates like Paul Rodgers, Simon Kirke, and Ian Hunter, with whom he forged brotherly bonds through decades of collaboration. Mick's legacy also includes creative partnerships with icons like David Bowie, who produced Mott the Hoople's All the Young Dudes, and George Harrison, with whom he co-wrote Flying Hour in 1979, though the track remained unreleased until 2001. In later years, Mick's family life centered around Susie, their children, and stepchildren, with Herefordshire remaining a touchstone for his roots. Annual visits to his hometown, even after fame, kept him connected to the community that shaped him, with local pubs like the Nag's Head and High Wycombe serving as informal jam spots where he honed his blues roots. Information about Mick Ralphs' house is limited, as he eschewed the ostentatious trappings of rock stardom. Following his 2016 stroke, Mick resided in a nursing facility in England, as confirmed by Bad Company guitarist Howard Leese in a 2020 vintage guitar interview, where he noted Mick's need for specialized care. Prior to this, Mick likely lived in a modest home in England, possibly in Buckinghamshire near High Wycombe, where he formed the Mick Ralphs Blues Band in 2011 after jamming at the Nag's Head pub. Unlike peers with sprawling estates, Mick's living arrangements reflected his practical mindset, with no reports of lavish properties or real estate ventures. A 1975 photo shared on X, at superstar_cars. Showing Mick posing with a 390 Ci Ford Mustang Mach 1, hints at a love for classic cars, possibly kept at his home or a nearby garage. His Herefordshire roots suggest he valued simplicity, perhaps owning a cozy house with a music room for his beloved Les Paul Standards and Stratocasters, where he'd tinker with riffs or relax with family. Mick's focus on music over materialism meant his home was a functional space for creativity and connection, not a status symbol, aligning with his reputation as rock's unpretentious craftsman. Mick Ralphs' net worth at the time of his death in 2025 was estimated at $10 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth, a fortune built through a prolific career spanning 5 decades. His wealth primarily stemmed from his tenure with Mott the Hoople, 1969 to 1973, and Bad Company, 1973 to 1982, 1986 to 1999, 2008 to 2016, where he penned or co-wrote enduring hits like Can't Get Enough, Ready for Love, Good Lovin' Gone Bad, and Feel Like Makin' Love. Mick played on 8 Mott the Hoople albums, including Mott the Hoople, 1969, Mad Shadows, 1970, and the David Bowie-produced All the Young Dudes, 1972, which reached UK number 3 and US number 37. Bad Company's 1974 debut album, released on Led Zeppelin's Swan Song label, hit number 1 on the Billboard 200, going 5 times platinum, with subsequent albums like Straight Shooter, 1975, and Run with the Pack, 1976, achieving multi-platinum status, collectively selling over 20 million albums in the US alone. Mick's songwriting royalties, particularly for radio staples like Can't Get Enough, provided a steady income stream. Additional earnings came from 3 solo albums, Take This, 1985, It's All Good, 2001, and That's Life, Can't Get Enough, 2003, and 2 2010 releases with the Mick Ralphs Blues Band, Should Know Better and If It Ain't Broke. Touring with David Gilmour in 1984 for About Face, Ian Hunter in 2004, and Mott the Hoople's 2009 reunion at London's Hammersmith Apollo bolstered his finances, as did Bad Company's lucrative reunion tours. Unlike some rock contemporaries, Mick avoided lavish spending, living frugally to preserve his wealth, with no reports of financial troubles or extravagant purchases. His posthumous induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Bad Company in 2025 underscores his enduring financial and cultural impact, ensuring his estate supports his family and legacy. Mick Ralphs' lifestyle was a striking blend of rock and roll intensity and small-town humility, defined by his devotion to music and aversion to the excesses that felled many peers. At 5 feet 10 inches with a lean, wiry build in his prime, Mick was a magnetic presence on stage, wielding his 1960 Les Paul Standard or Fender Stratocaster with a swagger that electrified arenas during Bad Company's 1970s peak. His open C tuning on Can't Get Enough and melodic solos on Feel Like Makin' Love showcased a minimalist style that prioritized feel over flash, earning praise from Joe Elliott of Def Leppard, who called him a riff master on X, at Espa Football. Offstage, Mick shunned the rock star cliché, avoiding drugs and groupie culture, preferring quiet evenings tinkering with his 1975 Ford Mustang Mach 1 or jamming with mates at local pubs. His 1970s and 1980s routine revolved around grueling tour schedules. Bad Company played over 200 shows annually at their peak, and studio sessions, but his fear of flying, a lifelong phobia, made transatlantic travel a nightmare, leading him to bow out of Bad Company's touring lineup in 1999. In the 2000s, Mick embraced a slower pace, settling in Buckinghamshire, where he formed the Mick Ralphs Blues Band in 2011, playing blues covers and originals at venues like Jags Club in Ascot and the Half Moon in Putney. A music purist, he mentored younger players like Adam Barron, sharing stories of touring with Led Zeppelin and Bowie. His diet leaned towards simple British fare, fish and chips, Sunday roasts, washed down with a pint, reflecting his Herefordshire roots. After his 2016 stroke, Mick's lifestyle shifted to recovery, with daily physiotherapy and family visits providing solace. Despite his physical limitations, he remained engaged with music, emailing bandmates about Bad Company's 2025 Hall of Fame nod, a moment of pride shared via Billboard. Mick's faith, though private, guided his resilience, with Kirk noting his quiet strength in facing adversity. Mick Ralphs' biography is a vivid chronicle of rock's golden age, woven with triumphs, challenges, and an unwavering love for the guitar. Born on March 31, 1944, in Stoke Lacey, Herefordshire, Mick grew up in a post-war England where rock and roll was a rebellious new language. At 17, he taught himself guitar, mimicking Chuck Berry's Johnny B. Good and Eddie Cochran's Summertime Blues on a cheap acoustic, dreaming of a stage beyond Herefordshire's fields. His first band, the Buddies, a blues rock outfit, released a single in 1964, earning local buzz but little commercial traction. In 1966, he joined the Doc Thomas Group, a soul rock act that toured Italy, laying the groundwork for Mott the Hoople, formed in 1969 after signing with Island Records. As lead guitarist, Mick anchored their first 6 albums, from the raw Mott the Hoople, 1969, to the glam rock masterpiece All the Young Dudes, 1972, produced by David Bowie, whose title track, penned by Bowie but powered by Mick's riffs, peaked at UK number 3 and became a generational anthem. Albums like Brain Capers, 1971, and Mott, 1973, featuring Mick's Ready for Love and All the Way from Memphis, showcased his knack for blending blues grit with pop hooks, though tensions with frontman Ian Hunter and vocal limitations. Mick briefly sang lead before Hunter's arrival, led to his exit in 1973. That same year, Mick co-founded Bad Company with Paul Rodgers and Simon Kirke from Free, and Boz Burrell from King Crimson, signing with Led Zeppelin's Swan Song label, a coup that amplified their reach. Their 1974 debut, Bad Company, was a juggernaut, hitting number 1 on the Billboard 200 and going 5 times platinum, driven by Mick's Can't Get Enough, a riff-heavy banger tuned in open C for its distinctive chime. He co-wrote or wrote hits like Ready for Love, reworked from Mott, Good Lovin' Gone Bad, and Feel Like Makin' Love, fueling albums like Straight Shooter, 1975, number 3 US, and Run with the Pack, 1976, number 5 US, which cemented Bad Company as arena rock titans. Mick's chemistry with Roger's soulful vocals and Kirk's thunderous drums created a sound both raw and polished, earning them opening slots for The Who and Led Zeppelin. Bad Company disbanded in 1982 amid creative fatigue, but Mick rejoined for reunions from 1986 to 1999 and 2008 to 2016, though his fear of flying limited his involvement in later tours, with Howard Leese filling in. Mick's versatility shone in side projects, including a 1984 tour with David Gilmour for About Face, where his solos complemented Gilmour's Pink Floyd ethos, and a 2004 stint as second guitarist for Ian Hunter's UK tour, captured on the Just Another Night DVD. His solo career included Take This, 1985, featuring Simon Kirke, It's All Good, 2001, a critically praised instrumental album, and That's Life, Can't Get Enough, 2003, showcasing his love for blues and rock. In 2009, Mott the Hoople's reunion at Hammersmith Apollo was a nostalgic triumph, with Mick's guitar work reigniting classics for a new generation. His 2011 formation of the Mick Ralphs Blues Band, born from pub jams in High Wycombe, led to 2 albums, Should Know Better and If It Ain't Broke, celebrating his Stax and Chess Records influences. Mick's final show was Bad Company's 2016 O2 Arena gig, a high-energy swan song before his stroke days later. His influence, defined by melodic economy and emotional depth, inspired players like Slash and Joe Perry, with Perry tweeting, "Mick's riffs were my Bible on X," at Aero Force One. Despite challenges, like creative clashes with Rogers in the 1980s or his stroke, Mick's humility shone, as seen in his mentorship of younger musicians and gratitude for his career. His posthumous Hall of Fame induction with Bad Company cements his status as a rock architect, leaving a legacy of soulful, timeless music that continues to inspire. What's your favorite Mick Ralphs riff? Can't Get Enough, All the Young Dudes, Ready for Love, or another classic? Drop it below, hit like, share this tribute, and subscribe for more stories of rock legends. Rest in peace, Mick, your chords will echo forever.